Yesterday, we saw action at the top of the table. Today, our team Shock-13 has a chance. Yes, a chance to go ahead and join CALALAS at that top. We have two teams at the bottom hoping to really right the ship in what has been a brutal season so far. All that and more today. And for those of you playing along at home, those win rates through week 5, of course, a little more added to Mohamed Light's tally with his performance yesterday, both in the 1v1 and King of the Hill. I'm sure you're surprised. I know I am. Viper, the lone bright spot as far as win rates go for French Swat. We'll see if the Hogexy NATO player gets in the mix today. When we jump into our first match here between the exciting but not quite putting it together Strangers and French Swat. Lineups for both teams overall. Strangers with Fly, EGW, Tico, Hoon, 40k band and Luminary. French SWAT with Ilion, a.k.a. Chetty FL God, Z, Hugo, Viper, Paolo, and Paradox. You can see the lineups for our first set. And an interesting first set it will be, with only Tornado as a ban. Well, that's fascinating. Far fewer bans than typical. But guess what? We'll be here for it. Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm Rich Slayton. Did you know that? Are you aware? Do you know who I am? Isn't that the worst thing that you could possibly say to anybody? Right? Do you know who I am? And actually mean it? I've seen it happen. And it's real gross. It's real gross. Even Patrick Ewing, legendary New York Knick, when not recognized going into the building at Madison Square Garden, his number hangs from the rafters. Even he didn't go, do you know who I am? He just kind of was like, this is hilarious. What are you talking about? Hi, everybody. How are you? I hope you're excited. It's going to be a fun day. It's a double dip today. We're doing 2 matches right here. First, Strangers versus French SWAT, then BCN Pro Team against Shock-13. Shock-13, a real chance to join CALALAS at the top of the table. 5 wins, 1 loss. But they do have BCN Pro Team potentially standing in their way with Wallace, Igor, Samuel Bassotto, DiegoB, and Ian77. A real squad there for BCN Pro Team. Now, speaking of some of those players, our second stream today, in about 2 hours, will be the BESF Cup, the Swiss Bracket Day 3, with now residing in Kazakhstan, Stardust, a.k.a. Igor. We'll see some more Viper action out of France in that one as well. And, of course, another former world champion there in Team Queso's former player now, Shock-13's, or CALALAS' Ruben. So there you have it. And again, taking a look at our lineup for today. Our first set, 3v3 BO1s. It'll be EGW versus Z, then Hoon versus Hugo, and then, if necessary, Tico versus Ilion, a.k.a. Chetty. We'll see how that one goes. And thank you, Sandy, for, as always, being a OP mod. Love to the whole world. Hopefully I get to watch this together with Rich. Oh, that'd be fun. Come to World Finals. You can meet me at World Finals. Location not announced yet, but I will be at World Finals this year. So if you go to CRL World Finals, I'll meet you. We'll take a picture. We'll talk chat. We'll talk Clash a little bit. We'll probably talk disc golf. You know? All those sort of things. And it will be a whole lot of fun. Waiting on our first match. Our first match should have kicked off already. So let me just check in the clan to see if we're missing someone. Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, people are missing. Well, hopefully they'll get this sorted here in a second. Shocker, shocker. Sandy might be going to finals this year. Oh, let's go. Only taught Clash a little at Worlds. Well, there'll be so much Clash happening. You know what I mean? But when I'm in Finland, or in Norway, or in Spain, or in Belgium, or in Japan, or in London, I'm bringing my disc golf discs. I'll be doing all those. What's BSN? BCN Pro Team is one of the teams here. Bros, let's see. Let me catch up to that chat here. See some, oh, whoa, Surgical Goblin rating on Twitch. Hello, Twitch. How are you? Are you excited to see Surgical Goblin playing as a part of BCN Pro Team later today? In his matchup against French Swat? I know I personally am. I know I'm pumped for it. And thanks everyone who's coming here from Surgical Goblin's stream. We are waiting for our match to kick off here. Our first one between Strangers and French Swat. So hopefully we get this one going here fairly soon. I know I can see the League Ops is waiting to get the final players all loaded up and in. Our first set here is going to be 3v3 BO1s. EGW versus Z, then Hoon versus Hugo, and if necessary, Tico versus Elian, a.k.a. Chetty. Sandy saying, I love you. Love to meet you all, hopefully in London. And yes, for those of you who are watching both on YouTube or on Twitch, we are on both YouTube and Twitch. So there you go. And I see some of you on YouTube or on Twitch are looking for the stream on Espanol. No hablo Espanol, unfortunately, but I do believe that, or I thought Revel was streaming this, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought Revel was also streaming this in Spanish, but I guess I don't see him on online doing this one. So it might be that you guys will just need to stick with. Oh, I think Bale is actually streaming this one. So if you do want to watch View on Espanol, Bale_GG on Twitch on Espanol. But yeah. But I'll be doing this in English here, folks. En anglais. No E-Giants this match. Cool, cool. Who knows? We don't know. Hoon Loon, says Boba on the YouTube chat. Yeah, I feel you. Vitor up in here. Another raider from Surgical Goblin's side. And again, we will be seeing, I believe, let me go take a look at the lineups for that match. Yes, Surgical Goblin will be appearing today in the first set for Shock-13 versus BCN Pro Team. And Nick saying, because of NATO ban, oh, let's go ahead. Let's jump into our gameplay, folks. Here we go. And no surprises here with the tornado ban that we're seeing Hog in the mix. Let's see if everyone's running some buildings here to try to counter that. Do I think maxing my Hog would be a good idea? Do you think it'll get nerfed? No, it won't get nerfed anytime soon. Hog is probably the most balanced win condition. So, look like it's going to be Graveyard versus Hog Mighty Miner. Interesting choice to mix the Mighty Miner in here. Maybe assuming no E-Giant. Now Mighty Miner's even better against big tanks. Surgical Goblin is Dutch. Yes, I am fully aware. And this guy said, ain't no way. Dude said Hog is balanced. Yeah, Hog Rider is pretty darn balanced. It's only imbalanced if you are struggling at the game to manage your elixir. Otherwise, Hog Rider is actually maybe the most balanced win condition in the game. And that's why it has not been nerfed in a very long time. Vitor saying Graveyard is balanced. Graveyard has the RNG issues. And just as Adam702, I didn't want to put his chat up here because of some implied profanity. But as he says that about Hog, Hog gets decimated by GY. And this guy asks, are you winning? I am casting this content today. This is the first of 2 streams today, GKR League's Week 6, Day 2. And then later today, the BESF Cup solo track, Day 3. Hog to the right-hand lane, no building, gonna have to DPS this one down. Hut not in cycle. Doesn't really matter though, plenty of damage to take off that Hog Rider. This should be pretty simple on defense for EGW to finish off. The free Earthquake given away by EGW is a little suspect here, have to admit. Here comes the Hog, Mighty Miner to tank. Goblin's in as well. Nothing to take those off. Earthquake does get in, gives up 2 Hog shots. 15 seconds left, should not be enough time. But let's see. A hut should be available, and it is. This time, no Earthquake to stop it. And a valiant effort from Z. But EGW, with the current most popular Grand Challenge deck, gets the shutdown. So there you have it. Game 1 goes to EGW. Hoon versus Hugo. Ugo up next. First set, for those of you joining us on Twitch for the first time who have not watched this before, is a 3v3 best of 1. Second set is duel mode, 1-on-1. And then third set, if necessary, is King of the Hill. That's what's happening today. Is no one getting clattered today? I have not seen our clatter declarer, so we'll see if he shows up. Why only 1 card banned? That's a good question. I don't know why they chose not to ban more cards. You saw, let's go ahead and jump into Paolo versus Hoon. You saw that French Swat chose to enact none of their optional bans. A lot of fans of Vitor in the Twitch chat here. Being asked, is Stardust playing for BCN? I see him in the lineup only for King of the Hill as the anchor, so we'll see. What do I think are the 4 best win conditions in the game right now? That's an interesting question. The most used win conditions from a tweet by Clash Royale Esports this morning in CRL for this last season amongst the top players were Royal Giant, Mortar Hog, and Goblin Drill. I know E-Giant was pretty high up on that list as well, alongside Miner. Miner wall breakers. No King Tower activation and a whole lot of damage early here taken by Paolo. This could be a quick 2-0 set. Kick things off. Rathindra saying Royal Hogs will definitely make an entry this season. That Hogs Mirror deck is interesting, and of course has gotten a lot more play because of the MK Miner Prince deck. Here we go. Final minute, and it looks like Paolo's just going to go ahead and take the tower down there and try to set up for a push on the right-hand lane. He does have the Monk in front of the... Oh, what a great set of wall breakers by Hoon to pull the Monk back behind the RG. This game was already over, but Hoon coming out with a really smart play to put the kibosh on Paolo's hopes. Great set of wall breakers there. And we'll go ahead and queue up that replay for the break between games because that was just some really solid work out of Hoon to secure the first set win for his team. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay from that moment. Here we go. So you're going to see tower way down already from the early damage. And look, this was a game that was pretty much already over anyway. But this move by Hoon at the end, just to put the nail in the coffin. Bomb tower set up, and now this is a nice setup, right? You have the Monk, you have even an Elixir in the hole, but you already have a Monk and Mega Minion on the board. And look at that wall breaker set. Just pulls the Monk out from in front of the RG. You could have gotten Tower Reflection, Bomb Tower Reflection, and Musketeer Reflection. And instead, you get nothing. I'm not saying that push would have definitely worked. There you go. Let's look at this one more time here. I'm not saying the push would have definitely taken down that tower. But, man, you have, like I said, Bomb Tower Reflection, Musketeer Reflection, and Tower Reflection. So you have tower damage there, the building getting taken out of the way, the Musketeer getting taken off the board, and instead, just a really nice play by Hoon to shut that down. Set number 2, the 1v1 dual mode set coming up in a moment, Luminary versus Viper. Classic regular duels, not in-game duels. Al Swearingen saying, is a single person funding this tournament? No, I believe the prize pool is provided by Supercell. Or at least in part by Supercell. Thijmen saying, I used Bomberset to download it in 2017 and it never disappointed me. Well, good for you. Anish in the chat, OP mod on the YouTube side. Which champ is best to upgrade for long term? That's a really hard question because long term is so unpredictable. There's two different ways to think about it, right? Because I think Monk might get a nerf at some point because it is so strong. I think that you can kind of feel safe with Mighty Miner or the Skeleton King. But the one X factor here is the Archer Queen is the only ranged troop out of the champions. So it kind of feels like in the long run, she's kind of the jam. What was the deck with the highest win rate? I don't know off the top of my head. Kuzman calling for a Viper win in our Twitch chat, and you can see running Archer Queen into Monk. Monk is the X factor. You know, Monk does generally do a pretty good job of countering Archer Queen. Right, we're seeing players get a little bit better at playing her around a Monk when that's happening. But it feels like Monk is due for a nerf. So who knows? And again, we are both on YouTube and on Twitch today, so you feel free to watch wherever you enjoy the most. And he might not even use the ability for the Monk here. Nope. Nicely played by Luminary, and now saves the Monk to get in front of the RG. We'll see some nice reflection here, get the bomb tower down. Gonna get one shot from the RG. But still, you take a nice chunk of damage and you end up pretty even in Elixir. Adam Villalobos saying, turn 3 cards into discs. What's your putter, your mid-range, and your driver? That would be Ice Golem, Miner, Magic Archer. And a nice little snowball reflection there as well. I mean, I think the intended target was just the Archer Queen, but Viper's got to be annoyed that he didn't see that coming. And Luminary doing a good job playing this deck with protecting Fisherman and the Musketeer. Not the Musketeer, the Hunter. Doing a good job keeping those alive, cycling back to them a lot. He's going to get one shot here on the right-hand side. Shouldn't get too courtesy of the snowball, but here we go. Lead now has swung towards Luminary. And, oh, the Barb Barrel does actually finish off the Queen despite falling up a little bit short. And Luminary should have his Fish Boy back in cycle, and he does. Good snowball to predict. Fisherman, though, still does pull and get the King Tower activation. So the execution there from Viper, not quite. But this Hog cycle is relentless. Fireball might need to come out on defense here. And takes 2 shots from the Hog. Probably because not able to play that Fireball, but maybe let's see if he can turn it into a push opposite lane. Monk just gets shredded. And now just trying to cycle troops in the left-hand lane, maybe predict that Hog with the Hunter. Doesn't do it. And this should be a pretty snazzy win here for Viper. Hunter and Fishboy trying to play enough defense. RG cannot break through the bomb tower. Damage takes care of business. And that's going to be a GG. Well played. Viper taking game number 1 over Luminary. I see some Viper on fire out there. People seeing nice gameplay from Viper. The King Tower activation not able to really stymie the damage. And now we go on to our very next game, folks. So taking a look, let me go ahead and bring up Royale API here just so we have the full view as we're going through stuff. But is Adrian Pietro playing for Strangers? I don't believe he's playing today. I don't think he's on the Strangers roster anymore either. Let me double check that. Yeah, he's not on the Strangers roster. So there you go. Noel saying we want Morton. Well, he's not in today in this competition. So, you know, I don't know what to do for you. Let's go ahead. So it was the Hoggy Q deck for Viper. And then RG Fishboy for our good friend Luminary. So the pigs, the mirror pigs deck, unlikely from Luminary, given the Fisherman already being played. Unless there's another variation of it he might be interested in playing. This is one of the most popular decks that Luminary played, the RG Monk Fireball deck. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2 here. So Luminary going Wall Breakers. And this is going to be RG Fishboy for Viper. So Minor MK Prince will be the choice for Luminary. And he should be very good with this deck. You will be playing Archer Queen against Monk. But of course, we just saw that matchup is winnable. And Luminary with a big elixir advantage early here. Sets up Bandit in the back. You know what I just realized? Viper's photo is flipped. Right? You see the letters on his shirt are backwards? Am I the only one who noticed that? Mega Knight sets up back to the right. Going to take a little bit of damage from the Fisherman. But a healthy 7 on the board and behind by 4. So 3 elixir advantage right now for Luminary. Monk out of cycle, so AQ comes down. There you go. And that's a good Bandit to protect the Archer Queen. Bandit does not get on tower. Monk gets down to pick up the damage. And Viper did a great job of recovery there. Smart little Miner Bats push. And that's going to get the wall breakers in behind the Miner. Log not going to get there in time. Kaboom. And this is Luminary showing just how well he knows this deck. Thindra asking, why is Luminary's cam so blurry? It's not. He's just blurry. He has an affliction called blurritis, where he is just always in 540p resolution. It's very unfortunate. It makes taking pictures quite difficult. And Miner just into the middle, trying to get the Fisherman out so that other troops can get away. Wall breakers go a full 1-2 on the left-hand side. Luminary with a solid lead here. But this is a big push coming in. Fisherman going to try to help. Bandit going for the damage. Doesn't dash to the RG, dashes to the Phoenix Egg. Prince will connect. And connect big. And connect huge. 872 remaining. 90 seconds left. Viper in a lot of trouble. Gonna go ahead and just eat a couple of shots from the Monk, I believe. No, good Bandit timing out of Luminary. And a great set of arrows. Wall breakers can't quite get there, but that's probably enough. Triple elixir is here, or almost here at least, as it ticks over to the final minute. And really not sure how Viper can withstand the onslaught that's about to come. Miner goes in now that the Mega Knight's going to be tanking. Gets picked up by the Hunter. Bandit pressure in the opposite lane. Arrows to put some more damage. That Bandit's going to be a real problem in the left-hand lane as well. Wall breakers down. Log comes out. 263 on the right-hand side. Miner is going to go add to that tally on the left-hand side. Now under 300 HP in both lanes. Fishboy trying to defend. Viper has one more shot here. And he goes opposite lane. It is the only option he has. MK and Prince to the right. They need to kite these over some more. There's a Fishboy available. Monk comes in. Monk cannot turn on the juice in time. GG, well played. We're going to game number 3. And there you have it, folks. So RG Monk Fireball played on both sides. Viper having played Miner MK Prince. And Archer Queen out, Arrows out, EQ out. Lightning, Fireball, Poison, all still available. Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong person. So Luminary has Fireball and Arrows out. Lightning and Poison both still available. Could play Hog EQ. That's still a possibility for Luminary as well. Oh, John saying, let's peep the shirt. Here you go. Boom. Big Mama Pekka. Doing her thing. With a little blue bird right there. There you go. Boom. Kaboom. So Hog EQ is still available for Luminary. Poison is still there for Luminary as well, as is Lightning. I don't think that we see Luminary run bridge spam here. He could run drill. Oh, it's a butterfly. You're absolutely right, Marky. That is a butterfly. On the side of Viper, Hoggy Q played game number 1. RG Fireball played game number 2. Let's go see what he's got in store for us for game number 3. So might be Hog for Luminary, and it is. And he's playing right into a mini P.E.K.K.A perfectly timed by Viper. This is the danger of playing someone's favorite win con against them. Is they usually know precisely how to play against it as well. So kind of a bold move from Luminary here. John 118 is saying, I'm thinking hoagies. Lunchtime? And it's the mini P.E.K.K.A variation of drill. Which is interesting because this drill deck can sometimes struggle against, or drill deck can sometimes struggle against Hog in late game if you're not able to cycle back to your NATO enough and then you can't get drills on offense. Now your NATO's on defense, your drill's on defense, and you have no offense late game. But this mini P.E.K.K.A gives you another really nice option against those Hogs. He's going to NATO this one in. This, I think, should be a pretty simple victory here for Viper, but I could be wrong. Obviously, Hoggy Q cycle can do some things. But so far, Viper just managing the cycle perfectly. Interesting thing to think about this Hog deck, right, is it's actually kind of heavy for a Hog deck. You think about it, you don't cycle anywhere near as quickly as you do with most Hog decks. Putting the guards in, you're talking about going from 1 Elixir Skeletons to 2 Elixir Goblins out of 3 Elixir Guards. Slows the deck down dramatically. Your mini tank being 4 Elixir plus ability. As far as Hog goes, this is pretty hefty. And that's why you're seeing Luminary having difficulty outcycling these defenses. You mix that in with the presence of the mini P.E.K.K.A, and it's just been hard for him to find any real damage opportunities. Here he goes. EQs now instead. This Golden Knight might get away. He has to, there you go. Luminary had to play the champion high. Magic Archer gained some good value. Guards are being played a lot in competitive lately. That's absolutely true. And they're part of this Hog deck. Hog is playing guards primarily right now. And it's just a value proposition, right? You gain a little bit in DPS, you gain a little bit in defense as well. But you sacrifice that in terms of your cycle. And this time a mini P.E.K.K.A play instead of a NATO play. Hog goes down. That's a big counter push here. Needs to go drill opposite lane. Guard's not in cycle to pull the Golden Knight. Got to play something else high. He does. Magic Archer there. Cannon Cart working on the Musketeer. Guard's trying to set up for a big... Oh, that was a mistake from Viper. That was a big mistake from Viper. That might be a lot of damage here. One Hog... Only gives up 1 Hog shot. Now gets a lineup with the Magic Archer. A key lineup. Mini P.E.K.K.A gets... No, does not get free pancakes on the right-hand side. Now a much better cycle situation for Viper. And this is a GG well played. We're going to set number 3 here, folks. Viper came to play. Luminary. Not happy with that. Gonna go get a dose of his focus cream. Hopefully bring his face into at least 720p. Lineup for set number 3, King of the Hill. Bassotto, Tico, Luminary versus Paolo, Viper, and Ilion, a.k.a. Chetty. And some love for Viper. Marky calling Tilt Juice on its way, and maybe. Reminder that NATO is banned when we go back to our King of the Hill set, so we'll not be seeing NATO. I feel like my chair, you guys ever get I feel like I'm slightly off. There we go. I'm off center. My chair had settled into an off-center position. With the rollers, I don't throw rollers with this. Not a roller disc. Actually, I don't even throw this. I don't really throw destroyers. But I'll hold it in my hand while I cast, so I can have some fun just playing with it. I don't love playing Hog against Viper in that situation. NATO is still available. NATO's still available. You know what I mean? Hey, Chaku Ram with a tier 1 sub on Twitch. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Very, very cool. Thank you. Disc equals fidget spinner for Rich? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I wonder if I can... I haven't done this with the disc golf disc in a long time. Oh, I need to spin it faster than that. I don't want to spin it that fast in front of all my equipment. Here we go. Thank you, Chaku Ram. Rathindra saying show some of your throws on your camera. Maybe some disc golf content coming soon. So Bassotto playing a minor wall breakers variation. And Paolo looking like it's going to be some loon. And there we go. Bomb Tower, Muskie. What is Paolo's plan? You gotta like that Miner to the inside. Miner comes now to deal with the Musketeer. Forcing that play out of Paolo. Bassotto. More and more and more of an elixir advantage. Splits wall breakers. And just sets up with Le Mighty Miner. What is Paolo's plan going to be to get past the bomb tower? Is it just late loons behind pushes deep in? Good poison there, a lot of poison value. And now here comes the loon. Bomb tower will be in cycle. Bird is on the inside. Miner goes to the bomb tower, picked up very nicely by the Goblins. Arrows to clear. Snowball trying to get the Musketeer away long enough. Loon not going to connect, I don't believe. No, nicely played. Use of the Mighty Miner ability from Bassotto. He still has 8 on the board in the form of that Musketeer and the Mighty Miner. Miner down to the right-hand side as the archers are controlled. High bomb tower to take care of the Musketeer and the wall breakers. And now, Paolo, offensive opportunity. Musketeer does not go down, though. Excuse me, I thought she was gone. New Musketeer down. Nice Miner to pull the Giant Skeleton in. Miner trying to distract here. Snowball, hoping to get Muskie down. Not able to do it. Arrows have to come in, too. Back to another Muskie here is Bassotto. He should be able to stop that Loon from connecting. Death damage in anyway, though. 2376, now to 1870 with under 2 minutes left. Wall breakers hit on the right-hand side. Action is fast and furious so far here as we're going into sudden death overtime. Miner goes to the back. Bird will DPS down, but cannot stop the actual damage. 1548 to 2136. Musketeer working now on the Phoenix. We're going to get a little reset here and take a quick breath. Whew. That was some furious exchanges. Those were some furious exchanges. Minor Poison doing minor poison things. Musketeer does get on the balloon, which is really nice for Bassotto. He's still going to go high with the bomb tower here. He wants to hold everything right there. Nicely played to take advantage of all the bombs. And the whole sequence there was really clean. And I think he doesn't need to use the ability here. He might, out of fear, decides not to. Going to use it on the second balloon. No, instead, using it to counter push. Miner goes into the Musketeer. Goblins predicted by the arrows. No catch on the Miner and the Miner poison in. That might be enough to seal this deal here, folks. Paolo cannot get a balloon here on time. Has to play defense. And that's GG. Bassotto. Very nicely played. Game number 1 to strangers here in our third and final set. So coming up next will be Viper on the side of French Swat. Madi Amadi saying Minor Poison is a beast. And you know what? I agree, Madi. I agree. Tis a beast. I used to throw a beast. I have from Innova. Champion Beast used to be in my bag. Took it out in favor of something a little bit lower speed, but now that I'm starting to get my form back, I might put a beast in my bag again and go back up to that 10 speed. We'll see. But I think that's something else that's kind of replaced the beast in my bag anyway, so is what it is. Does Viper play Hog in this game? And that's a good question. Bassotto plays like Mo. Plays like Mo? Maybe. Had a good game. He played smart. He played really well on that one. Here we go. Game 2, Viper up. And Bassotto says, hey, worked once. Could do it again. Moreau Prime saying what's up in the chat. And Bassotto going with the Minor MK Prince. And that's a huge Mega Knight connection to give up right there. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hog to the right. Nothing for the bats. So only one shot from the Hog Rider. And now Bassotto can just play wherever he wants. So what's the game plan for Viper here? It kind of feels like the game plan that you should have with this matchup, which is try to be about 1,000 HP ahead before double. That's out the window. So at this point, hope Bassotto makes a mistake. Maybe he overcommits, you defend cheaply, get a lot of hog hits. And there you go. Viper's going to go ahead and... Oh, he does not ignore it. Interesting. I thought he was going to. He can't hog into the right lane right now, though, because big, beefy troops are in cycle. And that's going to be it. It was it a while ago. It's still it now. 2 up, 2 down for Bassotto. Can he make it 3 in a row? Well, guess what? We're going to find out very soon here, since we are still playing Clash Royale. Ileana, a.k.a. Chetty, up next, and we've seen the calls in the chat. We've seen it said a few times now. Where is it? Rathindra. Ileana going to clutch today. I don't know. Only way to nerf Miners to remove from the game. No, Miners should stay in the game. Miners should stay in the game. And Asif, no, I have no idea the answer to that question. No clue. And here we go. Wasting no time. 3 consecutive match points available here for Strangers. Can they get one of them? Can they get the first one? And Miner Wall breezes both way. Little miscalculation there from Bassotto. Modsad saying, is Fram and Bassotto brother is rich? The Sito thing, or like the Ito thing, is like saying something small, right? Like burrito is a little burro. That actually technically means little donkey, I think. But it's like a little, it's like a suffix for tiny, or small, or little. Walker saying Wallbreaker insanely OP. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. They're solid. Don't know if I'd say insanely OP, though. Mahdi saying, why isn't there that much lava in the game? Because lava's really... Lava works okay when you have bans or in duel mode and you're able to pick lava at a specific time. But so much of the meta counters lava really well that just playing lava in general without having an idea of what your opponent's going to play is a real big risk. It's just not that strong of an archetype right now. Again, we're seeing more of it right now in dual mode gameplay because of people able to put it as a 4th deck and then go for it at the right time. Smurfblade saying Wallbreaker pressure is pretty unmatched against that. It's good pressure. I don't know if it's OP, though. Definitely don't know if it's, quote, insanely OP. Tower should be able to kill at least one Wallbreaker. Don't you think so? I think that, you know, honestly, I think that actually might be a... This isn't to sound really strange. I feel like that would almost be a buff rather than a nerf, because how many people would choose not to defend, have to choose not to defend both wall, right? Like right now, if you get 2 Wallbreakers 1 lane, the choice is easy. You defend it, right? You just go ahead The problem with that one is it would kill split wall breakers, which I think would be really bad for the card. So interesting choice, right? If a tower can kill one wall breaker, split wall breakers now is now impossible, right? It's a useless play. So that's dead. And I think that losing that would probably kill the card or potentially kill the card. On the flip side of it, then wall breakers in a single lane. Right now, the choice is easy. Defend the wall breakers most of the time, right? Spend 1, 2, even 3 elixir to stop them, right? That log is an easy choice for Bassotto right now. But then if only one connects, now it's like a really hard. It's a much like weirder, harder choice. So I don't know. Big push at the bridge, being held up nicely. Mega Knight in deep. Prince is a problem. Goblins come down to clear, forcing more and more elixir. And this is, again, what this deck does. Shouldn't Bomb Tower hit the bats? Well, it only hits things on the ground. Big pressure. I don't know. Nice log from Bassotto. Poison, he wants it to tick on the bats, and it does. Bats do go down. Minor for minor. 15 seconds left. 11:36. That wall breaker's going to connect. Huge wall breaker connection for Bassotto. And that should be it, folks. The King of the Hill sweep. 1, 2, 3. And what a way to end the day for strangers on the big King of the Hill performance from Bassotto. And that gives us 3 of our 4 matches finished 2-1. Yesterday, OLIMPO squad beat Tyton Stars, then CALALAS beat Rising Sun. Next up will be BCN Pro Team versus Shock-13. Does B-Rad play in any tournaments? No. Helion wasn't the best player, TBH. Yes. Logically, the bomb tower should hit stuff in the air. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. Oh, I did not mean to click that, but that's funny. Logically, it should. Yeah, I don't know. Too much damage for a single wall breaker IMO. Maybe. I think maybe nerfing the damage a bit wouldn't be terrible. Let's see. Rich demands Golem and Spawner meta. How dare you? Why did they remove Mega Draft from Legends? What do you mean from like ranked? Well, Mega Draft is still in challenges. Turns out, folks, I'm a Mega Draft one trick. I'm trying to figure out what I like. I knew I wasn't inherently bad at this game, but I pushed Ultimate Champion in Mega Draft easily, without too much difficulty. Beat a Mega Draft challenge. I'm undefeated in one right now. I'm a Mega Draft one trick, oddly enough. And this goes to Spartan. Says, question was the most difficult challenge to overcome when it came to learning how to cast Clash. And it's still the same challenge, is understanding matchups, right? Like it's part of why I'm also not good at ranked or ladder. Because like I don't like playing the same deck 1,000 times. I find it really boring. Some people are like, I've played the same deck for 6 years, and I'm like, how do you do that? That blows my mind. I liked Mega Draft, a lot of it for the variety. So yeah, really understanding matchups is still the thing that I put a lot of work into, and I still get wrong. That's part of why I love casting alongside a professional, because then I can frame the conversation and help set them up for deep professional insights and do what I'm great at, which is calling the action, setting the stage, telling the story of the game and of the match and things like that. Is Graveyard still good? There's a couple strong Graveyard decks right now. Why did they remove Mega Draft from the ranked battle? It was very good. There was always a plan to be just one season. Those shades are fabulous. Thank you very much. I wish after our Mega Draft really took off in competitive. Yeah, like I don't like regular or triple draft, but there'll be more Mega Draft and competitive soon. It's just not going to be part of CRL. But there'll be more Mega Draft competitive stuff pretty soon here. Yeah, Graveyard is back. The Skeleton Army is OP. Let's see. Even the pros get analysts for matchups, though. True. Yes, but actually understanding like how the matchup should be played and like immediately recognizing, oh, because of this one card being changed, now the matchup went from 80-20 this way to 80-20 the other way. Thank you very much. Yeah, I love playing Mega Draft. I hate it for YouTube content. Channels I had watched had bad content during the whole period. Yeah, because a lot of the people, what their channels were was, here's the most OP deck of the day, right? Like, so if your whole channel like concept is based off of, here is this graveyard deck destroys everything, right? Then you can't make that kind of content. There's gonna be more Mega Draft content on this channel. Hopefully it was meant to be launched this month, but might have to be delayed a little bit as I'm getting some things taken care of. Could get Mini as a co-caster. Yeah, sometimes, for sure. Opinion out Mega Knight. He's big. Earlier, I saw a video from Mo choosing Wahlberg's best card. I mean, it's definitely his favorite. So there you go. It's certainly his favorite. Can you spin me on your fingers? That's very weird. You need a Bali song instead of the plate, Rich. Well, first of all, it's not a plate. It's a disc golf disc. Like the one right behind me here and the ones that are up there and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm not using a butterfly knife on my stream for a wide variety of reasons. Let's see. Minor points in SO comments, Splash Yard is not that deficient in top ladder. Yeah, there was a moment yesterday where Splash Yard was the top 3 decks. Like Splash Yard was being played in first, second, and third place. But there are other graveyard decks I think are going to be stronger. Belly's a great co-caster. Is he even doing Clash Royale right now? Wallbreaker's in the back is one of the most favorite starting plays. Yeah, I see that. How is Ice Ball for Bats and Goblins? Why are you normally annoying my comments? What are your comments? Is Ian playing? That's your comment? Is Ian playing? You made one time. I'm looking through the comments. You one time asked if Ian has played, and you're saying, why am I ignoring your comments? Oh, boy. Well, now I don't even want to answer. Needy. But no. Ian's definitely not playing. Ian's not playing. But who is playing? Wallace and Sub. They're a butterfly, that's not real blade. I mean, I used to own a couple when I was a teenager and thought they were super cool, but I'm an adult and I mean, there might still be one in a box hidden somewhere, but I don't need them. But no, Ian is not, as far as I know, Ian's not playing. This tournament's been really hard for a lot of the North American players because so many of them are still in school, like North and Central American, because of the time frame, right? Right now, it's 9 a.m. on the West Coast and about noon on the East Coast, right? So right in the middle of school or whatever for a lot of players in the U.S. and also through the rest of North and Central America. And Smurfley with a great point here. A lot of big boys banned in this match. RG banned, Giant Skeleton banned, NATO banned, Mega Knight banned, and Mortar. Who's ready for a cycle day? I don't really play Brawl Stars very much. I used to play it more. So, Giant Skeleton being out takes out Loon, really. Takes out a lot of the popular Royal Hogs decks. And would be one of the primary counters to the MK Prince deck, but MK is out. I expect that we'll see some E-Giant, although NATO, so E-Giant's probably a negative. Is there a valid Golem deck without NATO right now? Do we see someone play Expo with no RG, no Giant Skeleton, no Mega Knight? And probably no EQ because no Hog. Two rarely played decks that we might see. We might see Expo, and we might see Bait. Loon Freeze might be a thing too. Mortar gone, NATO gone. And that's a late. You can't play that bomb tower if you're that late from Wallace. You gotta either get the bomb tower early or choose to eat that damage. Not a great call from Wallace in that interaction. Final minute, triple elixir, 656 to 1819. And things looking like they're going from bad to worse for Wallace here. Fireball does come down. Musketeer, no response to it. And this, again, late. The late responses from Wallace. And that's a GG well played. And just Wallace, we've seen this a bit. Just late responses. So again, RG out, Giant Skeleton out, NATO out. Scene minor, no big surprise there. MK gone, Mortar gone. There are some Golem decks. Bomber, Arrow, Zap, E-Barbs. E-Barbs Witch, no NATO. Very curious. Because, okay, so here's some thought process, right? With Giant Skeleton, Mega Knight, and RG gone, and with E-Giant unlikely to be played, Golem unlikely to be played, that means that now Inferno Tower, Inferno Dragon, both may be a little bit less likely to be played. Do you go Lava here? I don't think Samuel Bassotto does. Here goes Sam versus Surgical Goblin for Game 2. So Piggies and MK out, you understand why. Samuel may be running bridge spam here. Nice little King Tower activation to Surge. That's the danger of activating the ability when you're on the inside. It almost feels like that the better choice is not to activate the ability if your monk gets pulled to the inside. Especially not if Log is in cycle. Seems like an oversight there from Samuel Bassotto. Surgical Goblin happy to make that exchange more than once. Surgical Goblin will be appearing in this weekend's qualifier, as far as I'm aware. And I'm very curious to see his performance this weekend in CRL, as he's made it to second place in his group in back-to-back months. Has been very, very unlucky in CRL. Has gotten put into brutal groups, and on top of that, gone second both times. You take a look at our first season this year in the group stage. Found himself with Faust, Gooey X, and Coco. And that felt like he had a really good shot there, but Faust took the group 5-1. Surge fell short at 4-2. Then you go into Season 2 in the group stage. And that one, it was Surgical Goblin, Pandora, Boozer, and UMI. So he goes out and wins the one he needs. But again, went 4-2. Pandora went 5-1. And of course, Pandora went on to win the golden ticket. Surgical Goblin currently 15th overall on our CRL rankings, which effectively is 13th, since Pandora and Mo don't really count with their golden tickets already awarded. And a good performance this month could totally change things. But is this the month when Surge qualifies for monthly finals? That's a lot of Magic Archer value on the right-hand side. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Samuel Bassotto opening up with the Magic Archer. That's a big pig send on the left. Dual lane pressure from Surgical Goblin. And just doesn't get the Musketeer with that reflection for Samwell. Split pigs, 2-2, protecting the Musketeer on the right-hand side. Nice protection for the Musketeer. Surge going to go ahead and take this lead back, and Muskie stays on the board. Does she get rid of the Magic Archer? She does. That's big. Elixir lead. And now pressure on the left from Surgical Goblin. And the Fireball has to come out late from Samwell, waiting for the Monk. Great pre-log here. Fireball comes out, 1342 to 1507. That sizzle stymied a little bit by the cannon of the King Tower. 30 seconds left. Split pigs. Surgical Goblin leads in the right-hand side. Samwell able to defend that left, but now lead in both lanes for the former world champion. Magic Archer alignment, though, puts things very, very close. Surge has to stop this Ram Rider and get some more damage on tower. And he will. Very well played by Surgical Goblin here. Shock-13, 4-1 so far in competition, and with a good chance right now of moving to 5-1 and joining CALALAS at the top of the table. And Wallace, after a really shaky set 1 performance, will come back out against Betfas in our dual mode second set. Zappa said a rage for Sam. Yeah. Easily a Mega Draft 1 trick was top 500 1 seats, and I feel you on that one. Intense match. Yes, I agree. Those things I like to watch, says Death Adder. Yeah, that was a great game. Great game indeed. Super fun to watch. Is Surgical back? Surgical Goblin is certainly a contender again. He showed signs of having that at the end of last season, where he was, I think, 1 match away from making World Finals during the last chance qualifier last season. And he said he was making a comeback this year. And so far, he's done pretty well. He's done very, very well so far. He's gotten second place in his group in the group stage twice. And it really feels like he's going. I feel like he's going to make a monthly final. And with that consistency that he's having this season, really good shot. I'd give him like a 55% chance or better of making it to Worlds this year if he continues with this consistency. The double monk ability on Magic Archer. No, I didn't pull a replay for that, unfortunately. Sorry. Great pressure from Surge, yes. Why the Musketeer from Surgical not get reflected? It's the double monk. When the monks are together, they like reflect everything in between them. So the Musketeer shoots through the monk, reflects off the first one, then his monk reflects it backwards. What's up, Rich? Who are playing that insignificant names? We just saw Surgical Goblin put up a great win. Is Sergio Ramos still a pro? I've not seen him play in a long time. So Wallace Betfas up next. If Wallace is able to win this... Wait, it's supposed to be Samuel Bassotto. Yeah, they switched it. It's Samuel Bassotto Betfas. There you go. So if Sam beats Betfas, we'll go to set number 3. That would be Wallace, DiegoB, and then potentially Igor. AKA Stardust. So if we go deep into the roster of BCN Pro Team, if Bassotto wins this set and then King of the Hill goes deep, then we might see Stardust, AKA Igor. And no, Ian is not playing today, folks. He's not. He's listed as a sub for today, but he's not playing. And yes, I remember Razor. Good damage early for Samwell. And Betfas going to keep on adding to that chip on the left, get that tower down to just around 2,000 HP. Interesting deck choice here from Betfas. Very interesting choice. Mahdi saying Betfas will be the next Mo. I think that's a bold prediction. Rithindra saying I think Razor is one of the best 2v2 players in the West. Yeah, Razor was great at 2v2. And a solid 1v1 player as well. Like, great guy to have on your roster to get some good King 2v2 and then come out in 1 second. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm getting a important question, and I have to handle it really quickly. Enjoy the game, folks, as I try to sort this out. Let's see. All right, had to handle something, but now I am back. Calling Betfas the next mod, I don't know about that, man. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm trying to figure out what it was Betfas was looking for here with this matchup. Because this is kind of a couple metas ago. Not out of it yet. 891 to 1498. Just difficult amount behind. Not able to take care of the Muskies here. Miner goes to the Musketeer. Let's see if that's going to do it with the arrows. Okay, this is for real. Easy prediction. Wall breakers connect, GG. And Chrome, as I've said before, Ian is not playing. Ian will not be playing today, folks. Let's see. All right, game number 1 goes to Samuel Bassotto. Again, I'm trying to figure out what... Why don't these players BM? Sometimes it is and I don't. It just depends. Sometimes there's just no need to do it. So we'll have the, let's see. So I'm trying to get the deck information up. Sam versus Betfas. So you good, Rich? Yeah, I got some messages I had to deal with real quick. I do a lot of things at the same time. And sometimes I get messages while I'm casting these things that, you know, when it's CRL and it's like the official thing, I'm able to like turn everything off. But for these like less official semi-pro competitions that are kind of on my own time, I have to make sure I'm able to respond to some things. Who's my favorite YouTuber? My favorite YouTuber. You know what? Let me go look at my YouTube right now. I really like Simon Lizotte on YouTube. I really like Mark Rober on YouTube a whole lot. Let's see. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Yeah, those are probably two of my favorites. ACU is fun. There you have it. Mark Rober fire. I agree. Mahdi say my favorite YouTuber is you, Rich. Oh, that's sweet. RG on the left-hand side. Mighty Miner not going to do nothing. And this should be a quick and easy one for Samuel, it looks like. As that's a lot of damage early on. What are other YouTubers that I really like? Like, I mostly just watch disc golf stuff on YouTube, to be honest. The occasional comedy thing. And then, like, oh, hey, here's a weird 20-minute video explaining something. I don't think I'm super into any specific YouTuber, though. Like, that much. King Tower activation, not important. Quesadilla asking any big name teams in this tourney. I mean, CALALAS. But the traditional teams, Tribe, Queso, SK, not in here. A lot of those players are in here, though. If you look on YouTube, the entire, all the rosters are in the description on my YouTube channel. And Fishboy pulls, Ice Spirit high, Monk to cover. And now Samuel decides to go into the same lane. Drill does a nice job of distracting the Firecracker for a moment. Log plus Mighty Miner for the RG. RG still gets some shots, though. We are precisely tied on the right-hand lane with 1909 to 1909. And a little surprised we didn't see an ability activation there from Samuel. But I guess he wants that for the counter push, so take the damage instead. Musketeer does get taken off the board finally. And Guard's making this kind of annoying for Samuel as far as not having great opportunities for that light. does have the lead, though, 1677 to 1457. The high Muskies have been doing good work for Betfas. Man, that attempted but failed protection is kind of an issue. Fishboy should be available here fairly quickly. And that's when you wanted that lightning. And now when you're playing defensive drills at this stage, it feels like that's a huge problem. RG down one more time, guards out. Bomb tower does get in. Lightning for the Musketeer. Lightning cycle is going to be helpful now. Up by about 230 HP is Samuel Bassotto as the drill comes in. Fisherman to predict. Good fireball. Great fireball. Is there a lightning available? Lightning gets in. And wow, just by the hair. Samuel Bassotto, 22 HP. Log not available. And that is a nice win. And we're going to the third and final set here. King of the Hill. And folks, those of you who are watching on Twitch or on YouTube, after this stream, we'll be taking a short break. Both streams will be ending and we'll be going on starting at around 40 minutes from now. Man, I hope that this set does not take too long. We're going to be going to the BESF Cup Swiss Bracket Day 3. Lots of fun players in there, including these three. Viper, Stardust, as he's known now, and Ruben. All that and more will be happening in the stream directly following this one. So hopefully I have like a 15-minute break between streams because, oh my word, 6 hours in a row would be a lot. Have I done it before? Yes. Did I like it? No. Rich, do you play Raid SL, Raid Shadow Legends? I have played it. I play it on occasion. It's on my iPad. You know, they've appeared as a sponsor on occasion as well because they are Raid Shadow Legends. I'm like, hero collectors are a good diversion occasionally. And BSF as Mo play, not that I'm aware of. Here we go, lineups for the final set. BCN Pro Team, Wallace, DiegoB, Stardust, and then Tyton, Pedro, and Betfas. That's not Pedro's photo, though, is it? Is that an outdated photo for Pedro? I think it's an outdated photo of Pedro. I think Pedro looks very different than that right now. Betfas, the anchorman for GKR. And again, we're back to bans now that we're out of the King of the 1v1 set. RG, Giant Skeleton, Hog Rider, Mega Knight, NATO, Mortar, all banned. None of those allowed here. Let's go ahead and jump into set number one, Wallace versus Tyton. Who is Stardust? Well, Stardust is also known as Igor. So, no surprises. NATO out. The two other popular win conditions in RG and Hog both out. A lot of minor, folks. A lot of minor. Goblins don't pick up and force the arrows out. Nice play from Wallace. Can he get his groove back? Can Wallace get his groove back? That's the big question. He certainly needs it. Rough outing earlier. I don't know if he's just distracted or if his internet is suspect or what it is. We saw a lot of late plays from him last game. Great Monk reflection, and wow, the bomb tower does not pull the Loon. Snowball knocks back the Muskie. That's a lot of damage. 1482 plus death damage. Kaboom! 1242. Tower back in the Dark Ages here. Pre-Renaissance on that right-hand lane. And everything going right for Wallace at this point. Now the opposing Loon in. Much better bomb tower situation. You know, because it pulled the Loon. Second Loon behind for Tyton. Oh boy. Did Wallace get horse to the barn syndrome here? Gonna survive this one. But Miner does some significant chip. And now here goes Wallace setting up his push. And it's gonna be a Monk fight right at the bridge. And now Tyton going to try to get something behind his Monk. Desperation move from Tyton. And it doesn't pull off. Would have been interesting to see him try something else. Maybe set up early on the other side. Pre-prepare defense on this side. Right now it's a naked Loon to the left. And that's of no concern to Wallace. Good King Tower activation. Very nice King Tower activation from Tyton. And now naked Loon opposite direction. And that's really just about forcing elixir expenditure. Great minor arrows. GG, well played. Wallace gets his groove back here in game number 1. Wallace has matchup 90-10. That's really funny. All right, so Wallace takes down Tyton. Pedro up next for Shock-13. And then Betfas, the last man in. Interesting lineup here for Shock-13. Pedro, obviously a great call here. Surgical Goblin not coming back out for the final set. Did Wallace play professionally prior to Pain? Feels like he's been on a run since making the CRL finals. Wallace was a long-time top-tier semi-pro player before Pain. I don't know if he ever had any opportunities to play on a full pro team before Pain Gaming. He was not in CRL before Pain Gaming, but was a really, really talented semi-pro player. Played in the Clash Contender Series, which really kicked off semi-pro Clash Royale. Ended up making the finals for Clash Contender Series as part of that team, Undead Gaming. And in 2019, was all over in semi-pro. And then the first half of 2020 in the No Tilt League with Space Station Academy, where they took second place in that spring season. But then finally got his opportunity as part of Pain Gaming, and was a great pickup on their part. Really great call for Pain Gaming. And he'd been good as a semi-pro before that. Very good. And then, obviously, since then, it's been solid performances. Minor wall breakers control for Wallace. Is he running Fireball? Why is Ruben not that OP anymore? Doesn't play as much. That's for sure. And nice defense here from Wallace. Another thing about Ruben not being as OP anymore that I think is maybe underrated. And he did well the first season of Duels. Don't get it twisted. He played pretty well during a lot of the season. But Ruben, I think that his style of play was really good for old school CRL teams where, you know, you weren't doing the dual mode stuff, where analysis and deck picking was just a little bit. It was a very different style, at least, of analysis and deck picking. I think that he didn't fit as well with duels as he did with the other style. And then I think he started playing a lot less, which happens to a lot of people after they win a world championship. Mo's kind of the exception that proves the rule, right? Mo and maybe Elsiop. But all of Team Liquid, except for maybe Igor, started playing the game a lot less after they won their world championship. Team Queso, same thing. Mugi, same thing. Started playing a lot less after winning his world championship. Mo is the weird one who was like, oh, I'm going to play twice as much now that I've won a world final and $250,000. Very close game here so far with 90 seconds left. Minor Poison does feel like it has a pretty big advantage here. And with that connection, yeah, and the good game call by Pedro. Wallace in form. Wallace certainly in form. Is Elsiop OP? Elsiop's mostly retired, although he did finish top 10 on ladder this season during Mega Draft. I've heard he's playing in the U.S. He's living in the U.S. right now, but I could be wrong, obviously. And just the onslaught here, Pedro can't stand up to it. And smart move from Wallace here. He's going to eat a little bit of damage. Maintain this about 1,000 HP lead. And just make it so there's no real way to get all that damage back in time. Musketeer down. You see a log here. GG. Didn't need it. Wallace, tough first set. There's only one game. Now he comes out and puts up 2-0. And might we see the second King of the Hill in a row end with a sweep? It is a good career to be a pro CR player. It can be. For most, it's not. Mohamed Light, again, like we're talking about Mohamed Light's income. Mo soaks up all the income. I don't know what the next best earning player playing Clash Royale Pro is earning in a year, but yeah, like it's very top heavy, the earning right now, because there's not a lot of there's not salaries the way there was in teams. Really, if you're a CR pro, you should be doing content, because content's where the longevity is and where the money is. Look at B-Rad. B-Rad played CRL in 2018 and 2019, and now he's a massive content creator. He was already a content creator, but now he's like massive, and making way more doing that than he ever did as a pro player, for sure. So, yeah, it's definitely, if you are a pro player and you're not doing content, I think you're just leaving a lot of money on the table. And minor. Well, you know, for a lot of these days, the bans have created a more varied meta. In this match, they've had the exact opposite. It's just been minor. And with no NATO, and then all these other win cons out, you understand why. So minor wall breakers versus minor loon. And you see that play there from Wallace, trying to avoid a log prediction. Lead for Betfas with the first minute 45 down, 25.89 to 24.05. This is interesting because, you know, Wallace can vary, or Betfas can vary his minor placements, but he can't, until he's throwing poisons as well, can't get to the goblins. So he can go to the back, but the goblins are going to be there. Interesting arrows choice here. And Wallace choosing to sell out and go for the loon connection. Muskie as well. And what a complete play from Wallace. Choosing to eat the damage in exchange. A heavyweight boxer's ploy. You hit me, but I'll hit you harder. And it's going to pay off, folks. It's going to pay off in spades. What a play from Wallace. What a call he made to eat those wall breakers. And he finishes the King of the Hill sweep. Big brain plays. Wallace sweeping. Gotta love it. Let's go ahead and queue up a replay for that one. That is replay worthy, folks. Just smart. Just super smart from Wallace. Let's go take a look at it. So the wall breakers come on the left-hand side. He stops these ones. But look, let's take a look here for a second. Wallace gets the musketeer and the loon down, and the muskie cycles into the loon side. So at this point, you have some choices to make, right? Are you going to really commit to this push or not? When the miner goes in and Wahlberg goes opposite lane, Wallace goes, hey, you know what? This musketeer's going where I want. He just spent a bunch of elixir to go offensive. Let's get the musketeer out. So look at that. The arrow's out early. Arrow's out very early. Let's just get this musketeer off the board. Musketeer gets goned. Snowball clears. And Wallace knows he's going to eat some damage, but he knows balloon plus tanking for the muskie is so much more damage than what I'm going to take. Just really smart stuff from Wallace. Very smart indeed. And folks, that's the end of this stream. But remember, folks, we are back in about 20 minutes now with the BESF Cup match day 3. So go get a drink of water. Grab yourself some food. If you're on Twitch, I'm just going to leave the Twitch stream up. You can hang out here if you want. I'll put a replay on or something. And then if you're on YouTube, I will see you guys back here in just a little bit. It's been a blast. Let me go ahead and do one thing here real quick while I... where are you? Interact with this and take this back about There. All right, YouTube. It's been fun. I'll see you guys back here in about 20 minutes. Twitch, hang out for a moment. I'll come over there, and then I'll put on a replay or something, and then we'll be back in 20 minutes for BESF Cup. You know what? Still, be excellent to each other. Peace. See you in a few.